All right, what is your name and where are you from?
My name's Andrew Spriggs. From Delaware and Maryland, but now I live here in New York.
Okay, what can you tell me about Delaware and Maryland?
Quiet, peaceful, lots of land, a lot of open space. The coast is nice, good waves.
You surfer too?
Yeah, I did.
That's cool.
Yeah, grew up surfing, skating, whatnot.
What kind of advice you got for people who want to take up surfing?
Practice, get out there in the water a lot. Paddle, paddle, paddle. Just keep going, get back on the board, don't stop.
You a good swimmer too?
I'd like to think so.
Yeah. All right, now, what was your first impression coming to New York?
Probably the cultural diversity. Just really was shocked by. What I learned about New York really soon was I thought it was a place that was filled with a lot of people that belong to New York and that fit New York's vibe. And what I learned about New York is just a lot of people that just don't fit any vibe and don't belong anywhere. That just kind of come together and just kind of live in New York and kind of belong.
Especially after COVID time.
Especially after COVID, yeah.
Yeah. All right, now what do you miss about Delaware and Maryland?
I miss my truck, my motorcycle. I miss the quiet of open space. I miss like hunting and fishing, outdoors life.
Yeah. So what brought you to New York?
I'm an acting major, professional actor, and then I also work at the World Trade Center.
Perfect. Now, since you're an actor, can you do a New York accent?
I mean, I can throw on a little New York accent, but honestly, most of my friends are from Brooklyn, so pretty big influence from there. But if I had to go talk to Aki, I'd have to get him give me chopped cheese on the block, you know, same way as every deli.
All right, now is Facebook still relevant?
Facebook is not relevant, and I'll tell you why. Okay. Facebook isn't relevant because they started censoring information, as did Twitter, but Facebook did it before anyone else did it, and they made it public knowledge. Facebook's platform is a bunch of people that are old, right? People that are old don't want their opinions oppressed. They also want clarification that they're right. What a lot of old people are finding are either massive clarifications that they're right or massive clarification that they're wrong. Therefore, half of the platform of Facebook is already fallen off and is continuing to. And plus, Facebook now owns Instagram, so Instagram is Facebook's new platform. Is Instagram relevant? Absolutely.
Okay, now, do men or women have it easier in life?
Well, societal oppression is definitely a real thing. Personally, in my experience being a man, I don't want to say anything out of box, but I would say that we do have a little bit of an advantage when it comes to dependency on certain elements of life. I would say dependency on financial risk. Men are obviously looked at as to be the person that makes those decisions, especially in a workplace like the World Trade Center. I mean, there isn't one woman in our office, which is, you know, horrifying to me personally. I don't agree with it. I disagree with all that, but basically is what they tell you is that you don't talk to women unless they make a certain amount of money, unless they're established in some way, because they don't want your time wasted, which could be said for any gender in my opinion.
All right, now you want to answer a dating question?
Sure.
All right, let's say you ask a woman out. You don't know her, she doesn't know you. She turns you down.
Right.
You see her again 2 months later. Do you try again, or do you say she said no the first time?
Oh, I'm the type of guy who gets back on the horse. I go give it a second shot with a better joke.
All right, now, the way you dress, how important is it when it comes to meeting women?
When it comes to meeting women, not at all. When it comes to how I feel, very important. I think every day I dress very different. The other week I was here in like a skirt, but every day I dress different depending on how I feel and depending on what I'm getting into. And so I think when you meet women, what you're wearing shouldn't matter that much, as long as you can have a personality to fill the clothes.
Yeah. All right, what are your thoughts on men approaching women in public spaces like this?
It all depends on the way you do it, because women approach men in public spaces like this. I think that's kind of like a question that needs to be asked both ways. Living in New York, I've learned that not only are women, sexualized, men are too, especially in the city. When I've done things that I'm like, wow, I really didn't, understand the way that some females or some other people feel about certain things, because I never had to experience it. But I would say that men approaching women in a climate like today, in a park like this, is pretty normal, and I would say women approaching men the same way, as long as it just isn't disrespectful, which a lot of the time it is. It's just shitty.
Yeah, because with these kinds of questions, some guys will say, no, don't approach them, don't bother them, they don't want to be bothered. And then the other half will say, yeah, you should try it, you know.
Well, you can kind of feel it out. I think there's a large majority of groups that don't want to be bothered, and there's a large majority of groups that are out here waiting for people to come up and talk to them.
Okay, now what are some signs you're looking for when it comes to approaching a woman in a public space like this?
Eye contact, maybe like the little elevator glare. And usually you can tell immediately, like if they look at you for 3 seconds straight and then turn around and talk to their friend, they're talking about you. I mean, hopefully at least.
Sounds like you got very high EQ. All right, now let's say it's the other way around. How do you know not to approach a woman? Because you talked a little bit about.
You should definitely feel it out. There should be like energy when you talk to someone in general, and you should know if it's good energy or bad energy. And immediately, if you're getting bad energy, I would say if you can't fix it around with a nice comment, don't say anything at all and just walk away.
How much time can you tell though? Can you tell in 10
I would
seconds,
say within the first 5 to 6 seconds, you know if a chick's into you or not into you.
So it's quick.
Absolutely.
So don't hang around there for because I'll see this here in this park.
Yeah.
Guys talk minutes after minute after minute after minute.
Yeah, they're just digging themselves a hole that they're not going to get out of. Especially if you see that girl later.
Yeah. I think for a man, you're just wasting your time. I mean,
yeah.
Why are you talking if you know? Some guys are quick though.
Yeah.
Some guys are quick. 5-6 seconds they'll know, and then they'll leave immediately without making a fool out.
I don't say you know if a girl's into you, but you know if a girl's looking at you, then she's interested. And if she's interested or intrigued in some way, and you approach her, and she is invested and responsive in the conversation, then that's someone that you possibly can keep talking to.
Now, like I said before, you have a very high EQ. What do you attribute that to? How did you get to where you're at? Because a lot of guys are probably wondering, how did this guy get to have such a high EQ? How did he figure it all out?
Well, I would say, we're all born with genes, right? We're all different in our chemical makeups, right? And some of us are really positive people, and some of us are pretty negative people. It's kind of a 40-40 split, with 20% of people that fluctuate. And I would say positivity, looking at things and seeing the glass half full is attractive to women. Confidence, for sure, is very attractive to women. I have a lot of confidence that I dedicate that to kind of my work ethic, I would say. I like to work, I like to make money, I like to keep going at it and do what I can to stay successful. And I think it kind of, when you're able to achieve small little goals like that, when you say like, okay, I got to get this done in this time frame, and you achieve that goal, you have an air of confidence about your ability to do things. I mean, I played sports, I've done physical activity, now I'm in school. I didn't do well in school, middle school and high school. I was dyslexic, I was really bad at reading. And then I got a college scholarship, and now, I'm like studying every day, doing things I never dreamed I could do, just because I started chipping away at a larger goal.
How much do you think the way your parents raised you, have to do with your outcome right now?
I think it's absolutely a huge part of who I am. I think it's a huge part of who anybody is, the way that they were raised, what they know about themselves, what they know about the people around them. Just the information that you're taught at a young age is just so important. And I was really lucky that my parents put me in a Catholic school. My parents put me in a Catholic school a Catholic private school where like all my family had went, and my second grade teacher had taught my uncle, she was a nun. Just taught me to have manners, taught me self-respect, taught me respect for others, and taught me to believe in a power greater than myself.
So if you were raised by like a whole other family, you wouldn't be where you're at.
No, I'd be a completely different person.
All right, now, online dating, what are your thoughts? Advantages, disadvantages?
I personally, I like online dating. I mean, not like online dating, but I do like Tinder and Bumble. I think it's fun. I like use it as a game. I'll get bored, like sit at my desk and give it a couple swipes. But I wouldn't say, it's a great way to meet people in COVID. So I can't hate on it, because I've met so many people that I've had a great connection with after like we've become friends, or they've introduced me to their friends and we've become friends. Just Tinder's really opened up a lot of doors for connection, to be honest. Like Tinder and Bumble. Bumble's a platform where women can message you first. I like that better, because usually if they reach out to you, pretty responsive. Like I said, they're into you, like they want to talk to you, which is good. You know what I mean?
So now you said you use it to make friends too.
I use it for everything, yeah, social networking.
How do you set it up to where, let's say you meet a woman, right?
Yeah.
You're not into her like that.
Okay.
You just want to be friends with her like one of the guys. Right. How do you set that up to
So it'd be like,
but
I meet
by
them in
not
person.
sounding weird too.
Well, it doesn't.
You can't just say,
see,
"Yo, I'm
see,
not,
here's
I'm
the
not
thing.
into you like that."
Here's the thing about communication on a very large scale. Communication with people is good when it needs to be communicated. Other things we understand through information, through gesticular motions or physical behavior. Usually, you can kind of give off the vibe you're just trying to bro out by your conversation, by the way you talk to them, by the way that you gesture towards them. But like they kind of know. And so I wouldn't say that it's something that you necessarily like you say to them, but you develop. So I've met a few girls where, yeah, we went out to dinner, we hooked up, it was really cool. And then I was like, hey, you know what? I was like, you're like dope. I was like, I actually have a friend, like a girl that I'm friends with who lives right down the block. If you don't know her, like you guys should hang out and like be friends. And now they're best friends and they live together. And so that's one of my best friends who I had a romantic relationship with for a little bit because of a social media interaction or whatever. And then this other girl that I met off Tinder, now they live together. And I go over their apartment, hang out with both of them, and it's a great time. And I've, been with both of them intimately, been with both of them romantically, and now we're just all friends. It's all cool.
So it's a great resource and tool.
It's a good way to meet people during COVID, but face-to-face interactions always best.
All right, now as far as women go, do you meet the majority of your girlfriends through people you already know or independently?
Ooh, I would say situational based. When I've had to be in a room with, like I said, I'm an actor, like when I've rehearsed with girls for months on end that I've developed a relationship with, I find it pretty interesting because it was kind of like we were forced to be together, we were forced to collaborate. And not all relationships have been necessarily like forced by the environment, but I think the environment's a big part of it. Like, hey, you live in New York, I live in New York, cool, well that opens up an opportunity for us to hang out. You live near me, I live near you, like whatever it may be. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with that.
Okay, you are an actor.
Yes.
Can you do any impersonations? If not, we can skip that.
I mean, who do you want me to impersonate?
Who can you impersonate? Can you do like, let me see here. Can you do like you do comedy or like more like drama stuff?
A little bit of both.
Can you do like a Jim Carrey or somebody?
Jim Carrey's such a terrible actor, and I'll tell you why real quick. I have to break it down for the folks in the back here. Look, he needs to relax the face. There's way too much going on in the face. That information's it's filtered. It's forced. Like you can feel him trying to do something through it, instead of just like living authentically under the imaginary circumstances that are given.
Okay, so who are some actors you look up to?
Daniel Day-Lewis is probably my favorite actor. I was John Proctor in The Crucible, and he played Proctor in John Proctor in the movie of The Crucible. He actually married Arthur Miller's daughter, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, I think he's a great actor. Leonardo DiCaprio is a great actor. I have few actors that I really know by name and few actors that I really recognize as the best, but Daniel Day-Lewis is definitely one of them. Leonardo DiCaprio. Can't really think of anybody else.
Now you bring up Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
And the thing that
Meryl Streep, of course.
The thing that I'm thinking of with Leonardo DiCaprio is casting couch. People say that he used to have to do some stuff.
Really?
To get his role. What do you think about the casting couch?
Well, I think it's horrific and it's definitely awful, and we definitely live in a society right now where we're sex positive, which is a good thing, and we're sex progressive, which is a good thing. But I think the environment in the industry is definitely scary. My mom's a professional stagehand in the industry, and she's worked on set with Kevin Spacey in House of Cards and saw some really interesting things that really make people question them. I know it's real. I know it's out there in the entertainment industry. I know that there's this satanic cult world as well involved in it in Hollywood. It's just you gotta keep this channel clear. Gotta stay positive. Gotta see the light. You gotta stay away from the darkness. It's really mind over matter with that type of stuff, really. I mean, like they try to tell you that you can go to a church or you can do something somewhere and you can get a job, but really the good actors and the good jobs are going to be got through hard work and dedication.
How much did your mother have to do with you becoming an actor?
I wouldn't say like a huge amount. Definitely, I had an exposure to the industry at a young age. But I wouldn't say necessarily that she's the reason I'm an actor. Definitely not. I found it on my own. I found it my own way, and it was a beautiful experience.
Okay, back to the dating question. What are you looking for in a woman?
What am I looking for in a woman? To be honest, chicks that are just super, super smart blow me away. If you're smarter than I am, which most people are, I find that remarkable. I like to be fascinated by someone's intelligence. But at the same time, I like tough chicks, like girls that can hold their own, that can hang with me because I do some gnarly things. Like I like taking road trips. I used to live out of my car, out of my truck. I built like a little bed out of my truck, traveled the East Coast, just like surfing different beaches and whatnot. So yeah, like a chick that'd be down to do that. Low maintenance, but like high priority.
I like that. So like an adventurous woman.
Sure, yeah. So
you're a man who knows what he wants.
I guess, yeah.
Now, how long does a guy wait before he calls a woman once he gets to know her?
So I would say that question in its statement would be like a little outdated. So I'd say like if I got a chick's Snapchat or Instagram, which would probably be the first line of communication I'd ask for because it's distant, it isn't too close, right? A phone number is pretty personable. An Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, that's like Snapchat. That's much easier to communicate with someone and not be weird. And I would say if I like added someone on Snap, I'd like send them a snap like right after they added me. I mean, just being like, "What's up?" Like, "Hey, it's me." And then probably like 2-3 hours, like hit them up like later in the night. Like you don't have to say anything right off the bat, but just establish a little line of like communication to see if they're responding. But if not, if it's like a direct message, I would say like hit them up. You know, you meet them during the day, hit them up at like 8 o'clock at night, be like, "Yo, it was really cool talking with you today. You free this weekend? Like, want to grab coffee?" Like, make it something during the day, like something non-romantic, just something normal, something casual.
All right, now being desperate is usually a turnoff.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you avoid sounding or looking desperate?
Well, here's the thing, they say there's a lot of fish in the sea, and there's a girl for every guy, in my opinion. So you just gotta know that. Like that's the confidence that you need to back yourself up. You gotta go, okay, look, I know I'm like a semi-decent good-looking guy. Like I can do this with my hair, and I think it looks good. Like, and if you're rocking with yourself, you're feeling yourself in a fit or whatever, and you're like right on. You got your walk on. Like, just feel yourself, man. Fuck with yourself more often. I think a lot of people are just like hating on themselves and are down on themselves when really all they gotta do is just like be happy, be positive. What's not to love, man? It's a great day, a great life. Like, we're all blessed to be in the position we're at right now. Just love it. Girls will be attracted to that mentality.
Even the guys too, if they're gay.
I can promise you that as well. Yeah, I have a lot of friends from a lot of different genders for sure.
All right, now, how long does it take for you to like someone after you've met them or know of them?
I mean, you can like someone the minute you see them. The girl, my ex-girlfriend, actually, God bless her. I'm still in love with that girl. I mean, I was in love with her the moment I saw her. I'll love her for the rest of my life.
All right, bad boys. Why do women go for bad boys?
I'm sorry?
Why do women go for bad boys?
That's something I've never understood, to be honest. And my mom's always asked me why I'm a bad boy, and I've never thought of myself as a bad boy. And so that question kind of raised an awareness to that for myself. So like I like danger. I like skating without wearing the pads and shit, because like we like facing that element of danger. We like looking at something and go like, wow, I could really hurt myself on it, but I know I have a certain level of composure and commitment to the skill that I can do it. And I think that mentality is attractive. I think the other thing, which I've never understood, is like I work construction, or I used to. I like skate, I surf. I'm always like cut myself up. My knuckles are all fucked up. My hands are all fucked up. I'm always like dirty in a way, but like I'm a clean guy, of course. But like I always like get myself all dirty and like fucked up and cut up. For some reason, that's attractive. I don't know why. I've never understood that. Girls like skater guys because they're like gross, bro. We've been at the park all day. We're hungry. Like my board's dirty. My hands are dirty. I have holes in my pants. Like, but I guess that's attractive. I don't know. Never understood that one.
I've interviewed a bunch of girls, teenage girls.
Yeah.
And a lot of them will say, I come here just to look at the skaters.
Right, and I don't understand that because I go out to skate, obviously. But like if I'm looking at girls, I'm looking for like one of the more like put together conservative girls. Not necessarily not like the chicks that are out there, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just like the opposite, like someone clean, obviously.
So opposites can attract. That is one of my questions, actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Can opposites attract? Let's say you like drinking, the woman doesn't. Can that actually work?
Yeah, actually, I've had a lot of. So I'm a huge pot smoker. I love smoking weed. I'm a medical marijuana patient. I'm a huge activist for cannabis. Medical cannabis, recreational cannabis. And so I've had a lot of. Pretty much all my ex-girlfriends have never smoked pot, which blows me away because I like smoke all the time. They like being around me when I smoke. They like the smell of weed. They like when I sit there and play with my weed stuff and do my little thing. But it isn't for them. And I understand. I respect that.
Do your girlfriends require you to hang out with her friends too? Because I had a woman come on here saying, if a man's gonna date me, he's gotta hang out with my friends.
So here's the thing. I want a girl whose friends I can be friends with. I don't want to date somebody who I feel forced to hang out with their friends or I feel forced to stay away from them. I want to hang out with someone that hey, oh sick, you're hanging out with them? Cool, I'll be here. Yeah, bring them over. Let's all hang out. Or, have the space for her to be it's a girls' night and me be word, I'll go hang with the boys. But I'd like it to be a good collaborative effort. I don't think the gender role really matters that much in it all. I feel like I could have I have a lot of friends that are girls, so when I date somebody, they know that about me and they get along with the friends of mine that are girls, or if they don't, then I usually probably wouldn't date that person.
I had a woman come on here last week saying that all men are creepy. How can a man avoid being creepy? Or be not creepy? Dude, or be less creepy?
Yeah, just don't be creepy.
No, but they don't, a lot of guys who are creepy, they can't help themselves.
Right. Self-awareness is a big thing. I think self-awareness is something that's very attractive, at least for me. If somebody's self-aware of how they present themselves, how other people see them, I feel like I have more respect for them. And so I'd say be self-aware, feel the vibe, know when somebody's being responsive in a conversation and when somebody's being conservative, and then take that into account and just kind of gauge it. It's got to be a give or take. It's always got to be 40-60. You give 40, let them give 60. If they give 60, then you know what? Meet them halfway at 50-50. Intriguing conversation. Try to ask questions. Be interesting. It can't be that hard to come up with a few things that you want to know about somebody. You just got to have the balls to say.
You sound more knowledgeable than Dr. Phil.
Oh God, Dr. Phil.
All right, now. Vibe is a word that frequently comes up. What is vibe? Yes.
Vibe's like energy. Vibe's your intuition. Your ability to know when something's right and something's wrong. The vibes of a room, I think, are really your intuition in its working entirety. When you walk into a space, if you feel uncomfortable, then you're not going to be yourself in that space. You're not going to be as open as you could be. If you walk into a space that you feel very comfortable in, you might, over expose yourself because you're just so comfortable in the space. So it's intuition, it's that gut feeling. It's ooh, I don't know if she's really into me. Look, it's okay. Let me just be nice and try to end this positively in interaction than negatively and creep her out. So, like I said, just be more conservative in conversation. Be less upfront in the relationship romantic aspect and be more upfront in the friendly way. Be yo, what do you do? What's your major? What are you into? And just kind of find out about them as a person before you become creepy, which is, yeah.
All right, what is a good place to bring a date?
For me personally, I'm an Aquarius. Like I said, I grew up in the ocean. I love water. So I like taking people to rivers or the East River, the Hudson, go to the lake. I don't know, have a picnic, go to dinner if you can afford it, take her out to coffee, go to an art gallery, a museum. There's plenty of museums around New York. Just something that stimulates the mind, something external that you guys can talk about together. I like to think I know myself sort of well. I'd say my weaknesses for sure. Are my organization with my everyday schedule. I'm the type of person who things change in a split second with me. I'm doing one thing and then I'm doing another thing and then I'm going out of town for 2 weeks. I would say that another weakness of mine would be my ability to remember things as clearly as I should. I have a short-term memory loss little problem. Might be because I smoke pot, might have been because I used to be a drug addict, but either way, just short-term memory isn't the best as it could be. And then I would say I'm very upfront with people. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily a weakness, but I put it in the middle where for some people it's really good. For some people it doesn't work as well. Luckily, I live with a guy who I can like walk outside and tell him straight to his face how I feel, and he's either gonna cuss me out or walk away from me. So it's a good relationship. I would say some of my strengths are interpersonal communication, just talking to people, being a human being, being personable. Physical activity. I like doing physical activity. And kind of just like overall positivity. I'd say that's a big strength of mine. Like just looking at things like glass half full, just trying to see the light in the day and not the darkness.
If you could redo any part of your life, what would it be?
I wouldn't redo any of my life because
injuries that you had.
I had a bunch of concussions playing sports and I did a lot of things to mess my brain up. But I would definitely say I wouldn't do anything different from the beginning of my life to now because everything that I've done has made me the person I am today, and I couldn't be more grateful for that.
Okay, you said you were a drug addict.
Yeah, I used to have a little pill addiction back in high school.
What advice do you have for people who are trying to get off of drugs?
I would say you're not going to get help unless you want it. So, if you don't want the help, don't ask for it because you're just going to either waste people's time or waste people's money. And it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf thing. Like you ask somebody for help enough times when you really need the help and you're really ready to change, they're not going to help you.
All right, now, if you could time travel to any year, what would it be? Past or future?
Currently, like right now, I'd go to right before the crash of 2008 because I'm learning some things about the stock market that I wish I could have been in my position back then. Could have maybe said some things that changed some stuff.
All right. If you had a trust fund of $5,000 a month, would you still work?
Yeah.
Okay, if you were not in New York, let's say New York does not exist, where would you be?
So I guess like if I wasn't in New York, like a beach, definitely a beach anywhere. Like a little hut in Costa Rica would be cool. Or I don't know. He's been talking about Europe a lot. I like Europe. Europe sounds cool. Australia. I don't know, like out of the country. Yeah, follow the waves. Really, Cali. Definitely California.
Hawaii.
I'm definitely gonna go out to Cali for sure. Yeah, Hawaii. Got some buddies out there. Hawaii Pacific right now, surfing up, going to school. They're killing it.
Okay, where were you coming from before you came here to this park?
We came from Heavenly Market where we just got some subs.
Where are you going once you leave here?
I'm not sure. I might go out tonight. Got invited to a little thing.
It is Friday night, isn't it?
It is Friday night.
Okay,
Yeah.
Now, I see you're vaping. What can you tell me about the current situation of vapes right now?
All right, y'all gotta get off of this shit. I personally was smoking cigarettes at 12 years old, so I don't feel bad for all you 12-year-olds that are not addicted to nicotine. You need to just like stop doing it. You don't know what it's gonna do to your body. You don't know what's in it. It's stupid. It's bullshit. It doesn't look cool. Girls don't like it. Guys don't like it. Cigarettes smell bad. They're gross. But fuck, are they addicting? And man, do I like smoking them.
Okay, what kind of places have you traveled to? States, countries?
I actually just got a flashback 3 years ago today. I was in China. I've been to Beijing, Hangzhou, Shanghai, and Xi'an.
Wow.
I went to China with this like study abroad program for acting. I got a scholarship, luckily. I don't know how, but I got to go on this amazing trip and got to see like performance arts in China, which blew me away, changed my whole perspective on life. I've been to Costa Rica once for a surf competition, and then all up and down the East Coast, and I've been to like Wyoming once. Like Australia. You want to go everywhere, man, including the space, bro. That's where I'm at. I don't think this world's big enough for someone that's a traveling man like me.
All right, now where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Hopefully with my Series 7. Hopefully with my Series 7 and a good a Series 7's a broker's license, a stockbroker's license. Like I said, I just got this internship over here at the World Trade Center at Ally Millennial Partnership. So right now I'm connecting calls. I'm studying to get my SIE, which is a security thing, and then I'm getting my Series 7 so I can give financial advice and trade stocks, as well as, I'm in school studying acting. So I would say with a good agent and financially stable with the Series 7, hopefully.
You're a Renaissance man.
I'd like to think so.
You're juggling a lot of things. Sometimes I ask people what are their special talents, they can't think of anything. But you have got a lot of things. What are your special talents other than all the things that you've talked about already?
I've been blessed and humbled with the ability to balance. Balance is something that
You're good with snowboarding, surfing, all that.
snowboarding, surfing, skating, got like a little balance board. Like yeah, I like standing on things. I like challenging my body weight. I'm a motivated person. I'm like optimistic. I wake up every day and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know what I gotta do, and then I just kind of like let things come to me and I kind of embrace them as they do with a positive outlook, and good things usually happen. I'm really blessed that when you put the energy you put out in the world really comes back. And so I'd say like my best skill is putting out the energy that I want to receive.
What motivates you in life? Because a lot of people out there are not motivated at all.
What's really motivating for me is the opportunity that the world presents. The opportunity to make money, the opportunity to meet people, the opportunity to build connections, the opportunity to live life, the opportunity to help others, the opportunity to really just embrace everything that this amazing opportunity that we call life is.
What were you doing during the lockdown in March and April? When everything was closed.
During March and April, I was getting my shit together. I was living out of my car at a fraternity house down in North Carolina. My girlfriend left me. I was having some problems with some stuff, and I was just kind of figuring it out. I was listening to philosophy. That's when I really got into philosophy. Read The Republic by Plato, changed my outlook on life, The Allegory to the Cave. Really just started educating myself for the first time in my life.
That's great. What kind of questions would you ask if you were doing interviews?
I'd ask people what makes them happy. I'd ask people what they feel the world needs. I'd ask people what they feel they can do to contribute to the world. And I'd ask people what they're worried about, what they're scared of.
Are you a content creator? Do you make videos?
I don't, but like I said, I'm an actor. I'm someone who's on videos, and I model and stuff.
What is your most successful content?
So I was in a PSA about the opioid epidemic in America called Heroin Still Kills. It's shown in all the health classes across the country in 8th grade. And it's really good because it shows you that it isn't just people that smoke pot that get addicted to drugs. It isn't just people that drink. It can be a prescription medicine that a doctor gives you because you hurt your ankle. It can be your parents handed you something because you said your head hurt. Addiction is a wild disease. Addiction can come in every shape and every color. And so I think that was the most important thing I did, for sure. And it drove a lot of contact.
So you are a bit of a celebrity?
No, I wouldn't say so. I would say I'm a celebrity in my own mind. No, but
all these kids watching going to health classes going to recognize you. Eventually.
A few of them in the past recent months. I've had a few kids actually reach out to me about problems they're having with like their girlfriend or their parents, and that's really made the opportunity like full circle. You know, I'm able to now help people with my experience through my work, and that's really important for me.
All right, now, what sites do you use? Websites?
I use a lot of. I read a lot of stock stuff online. I don't really go online that much. I'm not a big internet guy. Not a big phone guy. Just kind of like living life vicariously.
Reality.
Really reality. I like to.
Not a virtual guy.
Yeah, I like to just get after it. You know, this is the one life we get. You know, you might wake up in a simulation. I'll play with that technology shit later.
Because the more time you spend on that, the less time you're out here doing real things.
Absolutely. Yep. It's just a distraction. Just a distraction. I think my Instagram does well because I'm never on it.
All right, now, do you consider yourself a leader, and why?
I'd like to see myself as a leader, I guess. I wouldn't say I'm like a leader in the sense that everything I do is in the capacity that is leading, but I would say that I do try to set a precedent and an example for myself as a human being that I think people should respect and that I believe other people should, want to be like. And then I look at people and I see their lives as so much better than mine, and I look at them as an opportunity for me to be better, So I think it goes full circle. Just look at somebody that, my roommate, like he makes me want to be better in certain aspects. I have other friends that I look up to in certain aspects. We all have, you're interviewing me. I respect this. This is a great thing. So there's always, abilities to look up to people. Just respect what people do.
All right, now I see you got some jewelry on you. What does it mean, if anything?
My grandfather left me this.
Is that a deer?
It's a baby goat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little goat running. I don't know how I feel about it. My grandfather.
It has, like significant value.
It doesn't have value. It's definitely not expensive, but it was my grandfather, so it means something. My grandfather wasn't the best guy, and so when I wear his jewelry, it kind of reminds me that I should be a little bit better.
Love to hear it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I got the evil eye in today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know you brought up your grandfather. How important is ancestry to you?
Ancestry is really important. Where you're from, like I said, where you grow up is everything about you. So the people that raised your parents is really important in your life. People that raised their parents, again, very important. Sadly, I don't know too much about my ancestry, as much as I probably should. But I know where I'm from, and I remember that, and I definitely think about my family a lot out here.
What advice do you have for the young folks out there?
Don't get caught up in this virus right now and life being so restricted, and don't think about social distancing as a restriction of communication. Don't think about masks as somebody not showing you a facial expression or a smile, because there's 4-year-olds right now that are so compliant to this. They're more compliant than the adults. I mean, I see them on the bus. They don't even touch the mask, and adults are walking around pulling it off, whatever. But look, this thing's got to pass, like every virus ever, like every plague ever. We got to live life like the way that we used to. We can't go on like this. I see we're coming back stronger than ever. Like, I love the way it looks. The park's full today. But just like if you're young, it's going to get better. Just stay in there. Just keep moving towards, normal life being just the way it was. Just go out, hang out with your friends. Don't forget about, real life interaction. Virtual life is not real.
If I were to give you 3 wishes, what would they be?
I would say like peace, wisdom, and happiness.
All right, now how did the 2 of you meet?
He messaged me and said, yo bro, I think I'm your roommate.
So it was a virtual meeting.
It was a virtual meeting. And then I called him immediately.
So some good things can actually come out of the virtual world.
Yes, oh yeah, plenty of good things can come out of the virtual world. That's not what I'm trying to get after with that comment. I'm just saying we need to work towards not being in the virtual world.
Yeah. Balancing it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, now you mentioned being Catholic earlier. How important is marriage to you?
Marriage isn't, like my sole purpose on this earth right now. It might be later in life. I think connection. Plato says that like to be happy, what you really long after, what you really need in life is a connection with another human being. So friendships are huge, relationships are huge. Don't burn those bridges.
All right, now, you come to this park often?
I do, sometimes, yeah.
What is the weirdest thing you've seen or heard right here in this park?
Bro, I've seen some crazy shit in this park. Am I allowed to cuss on this? I've been cussing all the time. Probably when this dude over here with the bike smoked a bowl out of a tree, which is right there. You see that tree right there? He smoked a bowl out of that the other day. It was fucking wild. It was, props to the fucking guy. I mean, he made it's what I call recycling.
All right, now, do you speak any foreign languages?
I do not. I work at a restaurant in Little Italy. My Uncle Willie, he's not really my uncle, but my Uncle Willie is from Mexico, so he speaks only Spanish. So I know I can speak some conversational Spanish regarding the restaurant industry or snow plowing or construction, but other than that, not really. I can barely speak English.
All right, now, you're very good with reading people, reading the room. How do you know you can trust a business? What kind of signs do you look at? Because we're living in a consumer society.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's a lot of businesses out there who are...
I love this question. This is a great question.
Yeah.
You got to do your own research. A lot of people nowadays are scared to do their own research. They're intimidated to find out answers for themselves. You got to do your own research. You got to talk to people. You got to get face to face with the person that you're doing business with. You got to get face to face with them. If you can't see them, you're never going to be able to sell them something or buy something from them that you can truly trust.
All right, now, tattoos. You got any?
I do. I have 7.
What do they mean to you?
They mean a lot to me. I got this wave when I turned 16 on my 16th birthday with a fake ID. My grandmother died. She was the one who lived near the beach in Delaware. I got to spend the summers with her. So it reminds me of the ocean. I'm also an Aquarius, so it reminds me where I'm from. I used to catch and tag sharks for research, so I got this shark right here. Like I said, I want to go to Mars. I want to be the first acting philosopher on Mars. So I got this little alien tat right here to remind me that I'm going big. I love nature, so I got a little tree. Love music, so I got a little music note. Got the sun setting over the ocean on my thigh, and then I got a mustache on the side of my foot.
So you could tell a lot about a person through a tattoo.
I wouldn't say you can tell a lot about them. If you look at their tattoos from afar, you actually know nothing about them, except for the fact that they're tattooed. But I think once you meet somebody with tattoos, they're the type of person who, when you point to a tattoo, they know what it means, they know when they got it, and they remember it vividly.
All right, now what is your biggest accomplishment in life?
Biggest accomplishment? Right here where I am right now, that I'm alive, that I'm well, that I'm clear-headed, that I'm not canceled, not hated, not despised, not a drug addict, not making my parents in debt any more than they already are. Literally just living my life, going to school, educating myself. This is the best accomplishment. Dude, every day I wake up and I can dream or believe that I could be in any better of a place than I am right now.
What is the nicest thing anyone's ever done for you? You seem like a person who's had a
I've had a lot of people do really nice things for me. The nicest thing anyone ever did for me was the headmaster of the private school I went to in high school was for a school for kids with learning disabilities. I was madly dyslexic and had ADHD. I couldn't even read that well in ninth grade. I got suspended my junior year. And the nicest thing he ever did was let me come back to school. I was supposed to get kicked out of school. And if he would have kicked me out of school, I would have lost acting and theater. I would have lost my education. I wouldn't be here.
That would have changed the trajectory entirely. What do you want to name this video? What title do you want to give it?
I don't know. A guy who loves life in Washington Square Park, or positive thinker, NYC. I don't know.
All right, now, do you want to plug any of your social media?
Sure. Andrew Spriggs on Instagram, just at Andrew Spriggs, all lowercase. Andrew Spriggs on anything. Google me, Andrew Spriggs. You'll see me on there. You can watch the PSA about drugs, the opioid epidemic in America. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. Google me, like I said. I got a website. I got some stuff going on. I don't know. It'd be cool to keep up with. I like to post stuff that I like to think inspires people. I like to play music, take pictures of where I'm at, what I'm doing, just me and my life. So if you want to come along for the ride, follow me there.
All right, now how do you know someone's crazy?
You don't know if someone's crazy. Anyone can be crazy. I mean, I can be crazy, right? I don't know if I'm crazy. No one really knows if you're crazy. They say that if you admit to taking LSD at a hospital, you're deemed psychoactively insane. Just insane in general. They'll never be able to tell if you came back to reality as we know it. That being said, who knows if I'm sane? I don't know, man. I like to think that I'm very clear-headed, very peaceful, and I'm very aware. So I think I'm very sane. But other people's interpretation of that might be very different. Who knows? I think it's saneness and craziness all comes down to, I think it's all subjective.
Wouldn't you say that you've got to sort of look for signs of craziness in order to protect yourself living in a place like New York, though?
It's our intuition.
Yeah.
Obviously, this guy over here with this stick right now, with his bike, I wish you guys could see this guy's great. This guy over here,
crazy.
He could be,
Yeah.
but to me, he looks like a fucking god. I mean, this guy rides around this entire life on this bike. He lives in Washington Square Park. I mean, this is home. This guy's here every day. Right now, he is literally smoking out of a fucking tree.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy might be the sanest one here. Might be the sanest guy here. I don't know if he's crazy. I don't have the right to judge that guy.
Is he a threat?
No, he's not currently.
No?
But if he was a threat, I'd disarm the threat. I'm prepared for most things.
Yeah. So what are some tips on surviving New York? I mean, the street.
I would say having some type of self-defense weapon. I carry a knife, a pocket knife. I was applying to get my concealed carry permit in Maryland and Delaware. I would have been the type of guy that walked around with a gun on my hip if I could, just because I value my life over so many things. But it's not something that you want to use. It's something that you wish you never have to use, but it's something that you need to have just in case it happens. For a lot of girls that I know, they have these alarms on their keychains. They press an alarm, makes a lot of loud sounds, calls 911. I've seen this thing, you put it in your hand, you squeeze it, and claws come out. You can claw somebody, pepper spray. Like I said, if you're a guy like me, I like to think that I'm honestly, when I'm walking down the street, someone at my age, with my physicality, I'm probably more threatening than a 40-year-old homeless guy. And that's like the reality of just like danger. Like, you know, a young animal is more dangerous than an old animal, period. I mean, like he's got less information and less to lose and, you know, like everything. So I think protection's very important, but, you know, don't, you know, just pepper spray someone, absolutely. You know, try to do everything else you can to stay safe. Be mindful, stay in groups, you know, don't go out at 3 a.m. by yourself in a sketchy spot. Like, just be responsible enough to be an adult and protect yourself. Use what you need to protect yourself, but do not hurt anybody unless you absolutely need to.
Have you had anyone try to be aggressive with you in New York?
Yeah, I've had a couple interactions where I've had to stop some stuff. I saw a guy hit a woman one time, and I went out in the street and hit him in the face, and the police pulled up, and I was interviewed for 3 hours on the block, cuffed. That was like my second week here. I flipped a table, trying to this guy literally punched the lady outside of a restaurant, and I stood up, and the table that I was like going on a Tinder date, oddly enough, the table flipped, and I ran out in the street and got in a fight with this guy. And then a guy tried to grab a friend of mine, this girl, Sam, when we were near the Astor Place subway station, and I had to step in front of this dude who was 3 heads taller than me that could have absolutely taken my life, and I was, you know, ready to defend myself.
There's the answer to why the women like the bad boys.
Well, I wouldn't say all bad boys are going to jump in front of a 6'4" dude who's screaming at you. I'd say that the right guy is a guy who, I mean, I wrestled in high school and stuff. Like, I kind of know that I can defend myself, but at the same time, you gotta be mindful. You gotta be smart.
Yeah. All right, now, do you want to give a shout out to anybody?
I don't think so.
No shout outs to the surfing community out there? Is there a surfing community?
There is a surfing community, of course. Shout out to the surfing community. Shout out to my family, to all my friends. Shout out to my ex-girlfriend Lila. I still love and care about you very much. Hope you're doing very well.
What about skating community?
Oh yeah, the skating community, surfing community, snowboarding community. Hey, look, most communities.
Are you part of any skate gangs?
No skate gangs, sadly.
Just the two of you?
No, I mean, I skate with hella people, but I'm not part of a skate gang, I'd say.
Yeah.
Shout out to the biker community. I just bought a motorcycle. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So is there a biking community too?
I would say there's a community for everything, really, if you can find it. There's weird fetish communities. I'm sure there's a community for acorns. I don't know.
Have you seen the bicycle gangs here?
I have seen those New York bike gangs. That's unreal. I don't know what. I see that and I say, what Facebook message forum do you need to get on to get invited to that?
They're mostly kids, though.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like 500 or 600 of them.
Yeah. They just came through here like a couple hours ago. That's
wild.
All right, now. Okay, so what do we got going here?
So
we got a little informal party going on.
Got a little not public intoxication and/or public consumption of alcohol. So, as we say down south, here's to you, here's to me, here's to the bitches on the knee, here's to you, here's to I, here's to fucking high five.
Just another Friday here in New York. Cheers to that. Cheers to Jason here as well. You guys want to do the cheers with the glass? Yeah, you guys just do the cheers. Here's to new friends.
Cheers to new friends.
Yes. And old friends as well.
Yeah, new friends, old friends.
Roommates, yes.